So this confrontation is really weirding me out. You freaking millennials! I legit thought stuff like this was only said on TV or by the traffic cone in chief.
He handpicked this story. I love story time. I love this YouTube channel. But I'm so sick and tired of people interjecting their political views, directly or indirectly, into their videos. Roll my intro. Is it just me? Or are we getting tired of people interjecting their political stuff into literally everything? Whether you are a Republican, whether you are a Democrat, literally everything has to be spun politically. I'm going to give two examples of this because I think it's very important to talk about this, because it gets really annoying real quick, and it's caused me to unsubscribe from YouTubers that I've ultimately loved. I've loved their content, and then come to find out they turn out to be just crap people in general. That's another thing entirely. But when a YouTuber inserts their political bias into their content, it just takes me out of the immersion. And I have exceptions for this. Big exceptions. If you're someone who has already made it established that you are part political, part entertainment channel, and that's been your style of video making for a long time. People like Young Grippa, D-Day Cobra, Razorfish, Josiah Rises, all these people, they've established they are part political, part entertainment. Mostly entertainment, but they've also been political since the conception of their respective channels. If you're that type of person, then I know what I'm getting into, I know the type of package that I'm subscribing to, and I'm willing to subscribe to that and be okay with that. I'm not gonna lie, it helps that I agree with a lot of what they say, but even if you're somebody that I disagree with, because I disagree with a lot of people. CC Suarez, I don't necessarily agree with a lot. Like, her anti-MLM stuff, I agree with 100%, but CC Suarez is a individual who has said some stuff I disagree with. Cruel World Happy Mind, I unsubscribed to her because of a lot of things she said. It sounded like she was being condescending towards people on the right, but I still resubscribed to her to give her another chance. Disagree with her. And I've subscribed to a bunch of people I disagreed with. One of those people being Blair the Illuminati, this YouTuber who I used to like, who just pushed it over the edge when she started to insert out of nowhere her political stance, her political leanings, her political beliefs. And it was getting really bad when she was talking down to people on the right, basically. Like, she was talking down to political figures, but it also sounded like if you were anywhere in the camp of supporting these people, you were lesser than her. That's how it came off to me as. And that really pushed me away from Blair. And then come to find out she's just a complete liar who apparently allegedly steals content from people, bullies people, and lies about it, you know, and it's so freaking manipulative. Like, she talks about how Cruel World Happy Mind, how she didn't steal from Cruel World Happy Mind, and she made fun of the fact that Cruel World Happy Mind always inserted her opinion, and Blair does all this research and is never opinionated, but it's clearly false. It's clearly false. Listen to this clip I put together. I'm going to try to see if I can find the actual YouTube video that I took this from. Should not be too hard to find, but listen to this video clip that I put together. And this will explain why I kind of got tired of Blair. I unsubscribed to her when she made the Ben Shapiro video because it was clearly a video meant to just crap all over Republicans in general and anybody who may support this line of thinking without, you know, giving any logical reason as to why. And just making people feel bad for simply thinking this way. And that's just what pisses me off. You can always tell how somebody feels about people of a certain group when they out of nowhere, when they're never political before and out of nowhere, they insert their politics and they act holier than thou. So take a listen to this clip where she says, this is in regards to Cruel World Happy Mind, another YouTuber who I disagree with on a lot of things, but I think is genuinely a nice person. This is how she views Cruel World Happy Mind when Cruel World Happy Mind called her out on some stuff. And it was a very, very crappy thing that she did. And then she has got a whole rabbit hole. Again, I'm going to try to find that video and at least post a screenshot of where the video was. So take a listen to this clip and you'll see why I unsubscribed from Blair. And this is just one small snippet of why I unsubscribed from this woman. So take a listen.
Shapiro does have some standards. I disagree with almost everything that comes out of his mouth, and we'll get into why in a second. And I think he's incredibly transphobic and racist and insulting.
So as you heard from that clip, you can tell that I really didn't like Blair. I knew that Ben Shapiro video came out and she was absolutely going off on Ben. And I don't care. Ultimately, I don't care if you are somebody who disagrees with Ben Shapiro. I don't care if you're somebody that doesn't like Ben Shapiro. I'm not even someone who cares if you rip into Ben Shapiro. But she's a channel that's not usually political, who made this video out of nowhere just to crap on a person that she didn't like. And it came across to me like she was being condescending towards the people who viewed things in that same light. You don't have to agree with the way that these people think. You don't have to like it. But when you randomly attack a section of your audience, because a section of your audience are like me, independent conservatives who may agree with Ben Shapiro, and how you talk is very condescending to them, it really angers me and annoys me. It causes me to want to unsubscribe. But on top of that, I'm glad that a few months later after I unsubscribed from Blair, it's coming out that she's actually just a really crap person. And she's just a horrible person in general who doesn't tell the truth. And she attacks people for doing the same crap that she's doing. And it's very annoying. So her inserting her politics out of random is just something that I just don't like. I lost my train of thought because I had paused it to look for a specific clip on my phone gallery, but there's a YouTuber that I found. I was looking at random YouTube stuff. And I was looking for animation channels that I could watch because I like watching animation reviews just because it gets me out of the funk that is the current political climate, real life, all this other stuff. And so to continue this, there is an instance where I found just this random YouTuber, didn't know the name of the channel, didn't know any of that. His name is Electric Dragon, and he did a review on the new Boss Baby sequel. And I was like, okay, listen to some cringe, enjoy myself, have a good time, you know? I had subscribed to him, and then 10 seconds after he said this, I hit the unsubscribe button.
Boss Baby, family business. Yes, everyone's favorite diaper-wearing infantile boss is back and is leading the charge for an even bigger business venture. And I'm talking about the cartoon, by the way, not the orange one. He is never coming back. Anyway.
That was not necessary. Now, I'm not here to get into a pro-Trump, anti-Trump debate here. That is not what this video is about. I don't care if you like Trump. I don't care if you hate Trump. But he's out of office right now. And these people are acting so smug, so full of themselves that they are alienating people in their audience who may not be vocal about politics, but might have supported the previous president, and they'll unsubscribe from you, and you're pulling a Jello apocalypse where he made that go vote video, and it was totally about subliminally getting people to vote Democrat. I can't find that mess because he took that video down. Just remember that was that was the election before last. But that's the crap that gets me angry when people insert their politics into crap that's not political. And subject matters that are not political, like Boss Baby. You did not need to take a shot at Trump, but you chose to take a shot at Trump because you wanted to, and you wanted to feel morally superior, and you wanted to feel good about yourself, and you wanted to just take that cheap shot. Now, again, don't care if you like Trump, don't care if you hate Trump, but when you're a channel who's not known for politics and you insert your politics like that, that's where I have a big issue with you. That's where I have a massive problem with you. And it just sucks. Now, I think I don't like Matt Pat's channel. I don't like Game Theory. But he recently came out with a video addressing the Scott Cawthon situation. And I think Matt addressed the political stuff the best when he said he doesn't like the American political system. And listen to this clip.
Donated to these people, so he Everyone just hates to read. I never really saw people looking at what he actually said in his response to all this drama. Instead, just jumped to the conclusion of, well, he admitted that he donated to these people, so he needs to be canceled now. And hey, to some people, that's enough. Just supporting some of these individuals is an outright deal breaker. And again, that is totally your right to make that call. But to me, I wanted to know more, right? Because I had a feeling that maybe this is tied to the state of American politics. And this is stepping way outside of my comfort zone here on game theory, but personally, I just hate American politics. It's always been a frustrating process to me because it forces you into one of two buckets. Are you red or are you blue? Are you elephant or are you donkey? Are you Republican or are you Democrat? It is a binary choice between two parties, two people that are for these really important jobs, and that's about it. There are no other options. Or there are other options in the form of independent candidates and third parties, but because the system is set up the way it is, they don't really stand that much of a chance. And so everyone is always telling you that if you vote for them, you're throwing away your vote. So long story short, most elections just wind up being a compromise. You have to pick and choose whatever your most important issues are for that election cycle, and because no one candidate truly embodies them all, you have to vote for the lesser of two evils, in a sense. There is never this one perfect candidate that truly represents me as the voter, and I hate that. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Scott felt like he was in a similar position. So I wanted to look closer at his response. And admittedly, it's a long one, but I think it's important to not overly edit Scott's words in this case. But don't worry, again, I am not here to decide that issue or pass judgment on anyone's priorities. God forbid, I do not want to do that. But it is my theory, my political theory, that Scott, like so many other Americans, may have found himself caught in a situation where no one candidate truly reflected the complete slate of policies that he supported. And when his first choice of candidate bowed out of the race, one who was publicly pro-LGBTQ rights at the time, he moved on to the next best option in his mind, considering the issue that he thought was most important, in this case foreign policy, therefore him supporting Trump. And let me be clear, I'm not trying to explain away his actions or anything like that, not at all. Am I surprised that he donated to these people? Yeah, but is it enough for me to throw away all the goodwill that I've seen him put into this franchise and his community over the years? No. It's not. Like I said, a donation is a donation, and to many that is more than enough to condemn him. But I just thought it was interesting in my research and deserved to be called out when talking about this really complicated topic. I think the challenge here is that life isn't black and white, red or blue, and that the internet a lot of times struggles with nuance, struggles with those gray areas. I gotta be honest, I'm sad that this is how everything wound up. Seeing scottgames.com go dark after years of me checking it for updates or digging into the source code for hidden clues, it was a sobering moment.
Matt Pat did the best out of any YouTuber that I've seen, giving a political viewpoint without being a political channel. He said he's not a political channel, he doesn't like American politics, and he gave his stance on things without alienating anybody on either side of the issue. And he had to talk about the politics because he was talking about Scott Cawthon, whose issues dealt with political stuff. So Matt Pat gave the best response possible that any non-political YouTuber could do. And I was completely okay with that because I knew that he was talking about Scott Cawthon and the whole thing was political in nature. So he had to bring it up because that was the main crux of the issues that were surrounding that topic. It wasn't like a YouTuber who could choose what topics they were talking about, choose what they wanted to say, what they didn't want to say, and all this other stuff. No, he wanted to bring this up because first off, he's known as the FNAF guy. He's made 50 videos on Five Nights at Freddy's. So he was expected to address this stuff. So for me, that was okay. That was the best thing that I could possibly see him doing. And I was completely fine with that type of response. I wish more people would have that type of response and that type of thought process instead of constantly shoehorning their politics and alienating their fan base, because that's not okay. That's not okay. I'm okay with people giving their occasional opinion, but it's not okay to just constantly shove your politics down people's throats. I'm even okay with the occasional political joke. Make a political joke. I've seen so many Trump jokes, it's not even funny, but they have to be funny. I laugh at random Biden jokes. The main YouTube stuff that I watch, they're very rarely heard, they're very rarely found, but I do laugh at random Biden jokes. I'll laugh at random Trump jokes, even though, I'm not even going to say who I support. I actually think it's pretty obvious who I support, but I don't care. Ultimately, just be a good person. And Matt Pat, for all of his faults, his millions of channels that he seems to create all the time, I really appreciate his overall response. So, because if you have to talk about something political, that's the best way to do it. But the way that Dragon Dude and Blair from the Illuminati did it, no. And I constantly see stuff like that all the time. Like Cruel World Happy Mind made a video months after Trump got out of office because people requested that she go into Trump's business exploits. And I'm not here to, say Trump was the best person in the world. I'm not, ever. No, that's stupid. I don't agree with everything Trump says. But that type of crap is what caused me to unsubscribe, because it was just basically a random attack on Trump for the sake of making a random attack on Trump. These people say, well, if I ever saw Biden doing something, and Blair said she made one video on Jill Biden. but she makes constant jabs at Republicans all the time. It's annoying and it's bothersome, and it's just something I don't like. I'm tired of random politics being shoehorned into everything. If you're making a generalized joke about politics, then I'm cool with that. If you're poking fun at both sides, then I'm cool with that. I'm okay with politics being a punching bag, but just all these constant Trump jokes, they're getting old. You don't even have to like Trump to see that they're getting old, because that's all these people seem to have, and it's boring. It's just boring. So thank you guys for listening to this video. I appreciate it. If you liked it, the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Comment down below, tell me what you think. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to see more of my content, and share this video because it tells the algorithm that you like what you saw. This is Gabe of Happy Blobfish Productions signing off, saying take care and God bless. Peace out, everybody, and be good to one another.